Sorry, folks, about the delay. Welcome to the Baldwin City Ballpark for Game 2 of the Scouting Cup Playoff Semifinal Series between the visiting Topeka Warhawks and the home Baldwin City Blues. I'm Joe Compton on the call, and before I start into the lineup, I would like to point out I believe we're having a standoff between a couple of Baldwin City Blues and Topeka Warhawks players, as Isaiah Garcia and Hudson Ivy out for
City. Playing first base is number 5, Kendall Rivero.
Apologies about that, folks. I'm going to get into the lineup in just one moment. Starting with the visiting Topeka Warhawks. Batting first, the center fielder, Stephen Fermin. Second, the designated hitter, Sean Gomez. Batting third, the first baseman, Alex Alman. Fourth, the third baseman, Joel Peguero. Fifth, the right fielder, Lane Wilkerson. Sixth, the catcher, Ryan Mendiola. Seventh, the second baseman, Darian Pretorius. Eighth, the shortstop, Jefferson Teneo. And ninth, the left fielder, Corbin Evans. Pitching for Topeka is Yasnel Ruiz. Now for Baldwin City. Batting first, the second baseman, Maverick Rocker. Second, the left fielder, Brennan Johnson. Third, the third baseman, Cade Adams. Fourth, the first baseman, Kendall Rivero. Fifth, the shortstop, Logan Groh. Sixth, the catcher, Andrew Bubeck. Seventh, the center fielder, Colton Howerton. Eighth, the designated hitter, Tyler Tamez. And ninth, the right fielder, Jackson Evans. Now we are ready to go. And as I said before, it is Stephen Fermin leading off this game for Topeka. As we're having a quick conversation between our home plate umpire and manager Tanner Kilmer. He's looking over the roster, so I'm not quite sure what it's about. I suppose when we get more information, we will tell you. I'm going to mute the microphone for just a second and switch out my headset, so I'll be back in about 5 seconds. Okay, we are back. I just had to switch out to a headset that the microphone wasn't super finicky. So I believe we have a couple of ejections due to the standoff. That's the information I was told. I will confirm. If that is true, then it is Jeremy Etienne for Topeka and Isaiah Garcia for Baldwin City. And I think this might be the first time I think I have ever seen an ejection for a standoff in a summer ball game. I've seen it in the MLB, but never any level lower than that. But we're about ready to start. Our home plate umpire now telling Topeka manager Jose Suero about it. And
leading off this evening for Topeka, the center fielder number 20, Steve Fermin.
Well, I don't think those guys are ejected because I see Etienne walking back to the Topeka dugout. So, and this is pitching. I think I mentioned it before, but pitching for Baldwin City is Ty Clark. And the first pitch to Stephen Fermin is hit to third base. The throw over to first by Cade Adams is in time. So quickly, one out, and almost didn't even have enough time to introduce him, as that ball nearly went foul on the third base side.
Hitter number 20,
However,
Sean Gomez.
Adams did well to scoop it up and make the throw to first. It was kind of an awkward throw, but had plenty of time, although I will note that Stephen Fermin is a very, very fast runner. And the first pitch to Sean Gomez in there for strike one. Gomez had a home run in last night's game, which was a 6-1 win in favor of Topeka as he swings and misses. The count now 0-2. So Topeka with a 1-0 series lead. So for Baldwin City, it's win or go home, and it's win, survive and not so much advance, as that pitch is outside for ball one. Survive and stay in the same place. So should Baldwin City win this game, it will go to a game 3 in Topeka tomorrow. But we have a lot of time before then, as the breaking ball just outside, and count now even up at 2-2. The 2-2 fouled off on the first base side. Count remains at 2-2. The other semifinal here in the Calvin Cup playoffs is between the first-seeded Junction City Brigade and the fourth-seeded Midwest A's. Junction City took care of business at home last night, as the 2-2 outside for 3-2. The count now full. So Junction City with the 1-0 series lead in their game 2 in Belton right now. The payoff pitch high outside for ball 4. Topeka has the first base runner of the game with a 1-out walk by Sean Gomez.
The first baseman, number 12, Alex Allman.
And up next to the plate is Alex Allman. And the first pitch that he sees is back to Clark. Clark throws to second, but the throw is wide. Gomez going to third. Allman will remain at first. So an E1. And Topeka with runners at the corners with 1 out. And one of the most dangerous bats in the Mid-Plains League in Joel Peguero at the plate. And it looked like, well, obviously Clark was at least trying to get the lead runner, as the first pitch he throws to Peguero is outside for ball 1. But he's trying to get the lead runner, and obviously his throw was a little awry and actually went off the glove of Maverick Rockers, but it would have been a tough play to make. So not an error on the second baseman, as this one is hit into right field. Jackson Evans giving chase. He is under it, and Sean Gomez tagging up from third. There will be no throw, and Topeka gets their first run of the game. The visitors lead 1-0 off the sac fly by Joel Peguero.
Right fielder, number 15, Lane Wilkerson.
And in that, Allman did remain at first. And Lane Wilkerson is the next batter up. And he sees first pitch low for ball 1. The 1-0 in there for called strike 1. The count now even at 1-1. Inside pitch on the 1-1. Count now 2-1, and Ty Clark is very much a pitch-to-contact player, only 7 strikeouts on the year, as the 2-1 swung and a miss had Wilkerson on his knees, but the count even at 2-2. Deuce is wild. But yep, only 7 strikeouts for Clark. However, has been very efficient. Leads the Mid-Plains League in ERA, as this one is hit to Maverick Rockers at short, and he makes the grab. Or not makes the grab. Throws over to first. The throw is in time. But that'll do it here in the top of the first inning. No runs off 1 hit, no runs off no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. Topeka strikes first. They lead 1-0. And with that, we will take a break and come back with the bottom of the first inning.
Leading off for Baldwin City.
Maverick Rockers leads off the bottom of the first inning.
Maverick Rockers.
Baldwin City looking to tie this game up, and after falling behind in an early but small 1-0 deficit. As the first pitch that Rocker sees by Topeka pitcher Yasmel Ruiz is a swing and a miss for strike 1. This one hit to Darian Pretorius at second base. Took a weird hop, but the throw over first is there. 1 out.
The left fielder, number 3, Brennan Johnson.
And Brennan Johnson up to the plate. I believe this is the first broadcast that I've done since the All-Star game, so it should be noted that Johnson was the 2024 Mid-Plains League Connor Taylor All-Star Game MVP, as he takes the first pitch low for ball 1. In that game, he went 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run with the bat, and had 1 inning pitch as he sends this one opposite field into left field, and pass Corbin Evans not able to get to it in time, and Brennan Johnson aboard with a stand-up single. Baldwin City with their first base runner with
the third base
1 out.
Cade Adams.
And Johnson is a force on the base pass, leads the Mid-Plains League in stolen bases, so not somebody you really want to mess with. Or not somebody you can at least take lightly, as it is Cade Adams up at the plate, the first pitch that he sees outside for ball 1. Might as well finish Brennan's stat line that night. Pitching, he pitched 1 inning, 3 batters faced, 10 pitches, 3 strikeouts. And a win. As that one looked about the same location, but called a strike. So the count now 1-1 to Cade Adams. Johnson goes, and he's into third safely. A stolen base for Johnson, and that is ball 2. Unfortunately, I feel like a broken record, but I do have to note it every time. Unfortunately, we can only get one view of first and third at a time, so maybe I should throw it on third base, at least for right now. The 2-1 swung on a miss. The count now 2-2. Unfortunately, I am the only one in here. I am my own producer, my own camera operator, and I announce. So I have, unfortunately, too many responsibilities to be able to move the camera at will. But the 2-2, breaking ball outside, count now full. This is the second full count with one out that I've seen today, so 2 3-2-1s. First to Sean Gomez, who ended up walking. We'll see if Cade Adams has a similar fate as Johnson started to run. The 3-2 hit into left center field. Johnson goes home. And Baldwin City ties this game up at 1. Off the RBI single by Cade Adams. And of course we can move it back now. But it's Kendall Rivero up at the plate as Ruiz throws over to first to try to catch Cade Adams, cannot find him. Does it again, so that's 2. That's 2 disengagements on the batter, so you'd expect Cade Adams to at least try to maybe take a good cut as the first pitch that Kendall Rivero sees. High fastball swung on a miss, strike 1. Pretty much the same result, high and in, but still swung on and missed. So Rivero sees 0-2. Rivero, a native of Lee Summit, Missouri, currently plays his college ball at Culver Stockton College in Canton, Missouri. The 0-2, breaking ball in there for called strike 3. Yasno Ruiz has his first strikeout of the evening, and that's the first strikeout for either team. 2 away.
Stop number 11, Logan Grow.
And in steps Logan Grow, trying to get something done with 2 outs. As Cade Adams is caught in a rundown, and he successfully gets the second safely. The throw by, I believe that was Alleman, was high. And so there was no tag able to be applied. So credit Cade Adams with a stolen base, and maybe had to work for it a little more than, maybe not had to work for it, but maybe a little more stress in that one than a normal stolen base. But Baldwin City with another runner in scoring position, this time with 2 outs. The first pitch that Logan Grow sees right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Grow will be a freshman at Cali Community College in Arkansas City. The 0-1 outside, count out 1-1. But graduated this past spring from Gardner Edgerton High School in somewhat nearby Gardner. Edgerton is closer, but. And he sends this one opposite field into right field. Cade Adams held up at third. Cade Adams held up at third, so runners at the corners. And nice throw from Lane Wilkerson coming in. I don't think that Adams was coming home, but still, to even, if you're gonna commit to go home, at least hit the catcher so it doesn't go over his head and Adams really goes. But Baldwin City with runners at the corners with Andrew Brubeck at the plate. Brubeck did not play in last night's game as the first pitch is outside, and Grow kind of got caught napping a little bit, but that's going to be an error on the catcher Ryan Mendiola, and which allows Cade Adams to score from third, and Baldwin City takes a 2-1 lead, and we're going to have a mound visit from manager Jose Suero. With that, we will take a short break. Back from that mound visit, the count 1-0 to Andrew Brubeck. Just the runner on first in Logan Grow. Ruiz threw over to try and catch Grow again. Not the case. So yes, on the last play it was not Ruiz tried to catch him, it was Mendiola. And they throw as nice breaking ball in there for called strike one. Count now even at 1-1. But he tried to get him, and the throw was not there, so it allowed Adams to score from third. And Brubeck sees a breaking ball, 11 away for ball two. So the count now 2-1 to Brubeck. Make that 3-1. Fastball outside. But Brubeck, a fourth-year Baldwin City Blue, has, I believe, is the longest tenured Blue on this roster. He's been here as long as I have, so that would be 4 years since 2021. 3-1, low for ball four. And Baldwin City with runners on first and second for Colton Howerton.
Number 24, Colton Howerton.
Howerton, currently a Baker Wildcat for his college ball. Takes the first pitch, low and in for ball one. Actually playing against the team that represents his hometown. Colton Howerton, a Topeka native. The 1-0, thought about it. Check swing, not even an appeal down to the home plate umpire, or the field umpire, but it is a ball. 2-0. Howerton also had a short stint in Concordia at Cloud County Community College. Or as they call it up there, Quadruple C. The 2-0 inside for 3-0. I don't think they call it Quadruple C, but I have seen them call it like 4C. But when you have 4 Cs, but Joel Piguero comes in from third base to give a short message to Ruiz. And the 3-0, low for ball four. Colton Howerton works a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. And we're going to have a short, at least, infield conference, and it will be Tyler Tamez, the next batter up.
The designated hitter number 16, Tyler Tamez.
Tamez is the designated hitter for Baldwin City tonight. I believe this is his... He might have gotten an in for an at-bat. I don't have the stats in front of me, unfortunately, but I believe he might have gotten in for an at-bat in the top of the ninth in last night's game. As the first pitch he sees is outside for ball one. Yep, he did go 0 for 1, I believe, maybe the last out of the game. As this one in there for called strike 1. So the count now 1-1 to Tamez. As a nice breaking ball finds the low outside part of the zone, but the count now 1-2 to the Wilson, North Dakota native. The 1-2 swung on and missed, so that'll do it here in the bottom of the first inning. Baldwin City strands 3, but they score 2 runs off 3 hits and 1 error. They tie the game up and get the lead back. With that, we will take a short break and come back with the top of the second inning. Ryan Mendiola leads off the top of the second. Baldwin City with a 2-1 lead. Both teams scoring runs in the first inning. The first pitch that Mendiola sees by Baldwin City pitcher Ty Clark. High for ball 1. This one put in play, takes a weird bounce, but Logan Groh is on top of it. The throw to first in time. 1 away. So I've kind of talked ad nauseum about it, but obviously a little different playing maybe here than, or really just a difference in playing any grass surfaces is the variance with you know, the length of the grass and some of the bounces you'll get, as the first pitch that Darian Pretorius sees is high for ball 1. Obviously three of the 4 fields in the Mid-Plains League are grass, as this one is up into the air in fair territory. Ty Clark is under it, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. But it does definitely change how you field, and I remember when I was a baseball manager in high school, obviously I didn't play. Actually, I did play once. I did get into a game one time, but don't ask me how, because I wasn't expecting it. We didn't have enough guys. It was a summer ball game. But anyway, as Jefferson Teneo comes up and takes first pitch in there for a called strike 1. So, when we played our home games at a grass field, as this one hit past the glove of Ty Clark. Teneo hustling for it. The throw over first, though, is in time by Maverick Rockers, And that'll do it here in the top of the second inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, none left on. We go to a break, and we'll be back with the bottom of the second and the rest of my story. Jackson Evans leads off the bottom of the second inning for the Baldwin City Blues. Evans making his first plate appearance, but he does round out the order. So Baldwin City, after Evans, will round out to the first batter of their lineup in Maverick Rockers. But starting with this one first. Also, I'll say my story to when it's relevant. The first pitch, Jackson Evans sees, in there for called strike one. Next pitch, inside, kind of a breaking ball, but didn't hit Evans, so just the ball. Count now 1-1. 1-1, another nice, looked like maybe just, not sure what it was, either way, strike. So the count is 1-2 to Evans. And the same thing, an inside breaking ball, a little lower this time, and count moves even at 2-2. And seen that one get called sometimes, so I was a little on edge just to see what the result was. But the 2-2 is hit to Darren Pretorius at second base, and he makes the throw over to first in time. So one out, and that brings up the top of the order in Maverick Rockers.
The second baseman, number 29, Maverick Rockers.
Rockers 0 for 1, and actually the same way as Jackson Evans, a 4-3 putout to lead off the bottom of the first inning, and he takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. Rockers, a native of Lewisburg, which is, I believe, southeast of here. He sends one into the outfield, and he's aboard with a one-out single. And up steps Brennan Johnson.
The left fielder, number 3, Brennan Johnson.
Johnson, another Baldwin City player that calls Topeka his hometown. I believe just him and Howerton in the lineup, but they did go to different high schools. Howerton went to Topeka Seaman, and Brennan Johnson went to Topeka High School. Ruiz throws over to try and catch Rockers at first, cannot find him. But yes, Johnson, the All-Star Game MVP. That was his third All-Star Game that he played in, making him one of a very, very short list, if any, of three-time All-Stars in the Mid-Plains League. Just count now 2-0. He played three. This is his third season in Baldwin City. Played one season prior to that to the now defunct Lawrence Travelers. The 2-0 inside. Count now 3-0. Ruiz throws over to try and catch Rockers again, so I believe that's disengagement number 2 for the at-bat. And just a reminder with how that works, because I had to remind myself last night with how it works. It's 3 per plate appearance unless the runner advances, and it will reset. Johnson showing bunt, and takes anyway. Called strike 1, so the count now 3-1. Johnson's a guy that, should he get a bunt down, probably could actually reach first, even if that's where they throw. But not showing bunt now. Takes a 3-1, low and in, 4-4. That's 2 walks in the inning, and we're going to have a mound visit by manager Jose Suarez, so I believe we'll have a new pitcher. We'll let you know who that is after the break. Back with the... Well, we're back from the break. It is a new pitcher for Topeka. That pitcher is Dylan Quezada.
Baldwin City, the third baseman, number 8.
And the first batter he sees will be Cade Adams. Quezada, a Mid-Plains League All-Star. Played in Saturday's game, which was a 4-3 win for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars as Adams swings and misses at first offer, and the count now 0-1. But it was a 4-3 win for the MPL All-Stars over the Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League All-Stars, which was a pretty back-and-forth game. It was a very, very fun game to call, maybe one of the more fun games that I've had the privilege to call in all my times. Both teams kind of played the game close, but it was the 1-1, a breaking ball that nearly hits Adams, pulls away, so the count now 2-1 to Adams, but it was a 2-run RBI single by the Midwest A's A.J. Alvarez to bring the lead to Baldwin City, and I believe it was Alex Allman, who's playing first base right now for Topeka, had the save in the top of the ninth. Johnson, as I mentioned before, 10 pitch strikes at the side, as Quezada throws back to second to try and catch Rutgers. Cannot find him, but Johnson threw the 8th. Other pitchers in today's game, Ty Clark, starting pitcher for Baldwin City, threw the 2nd. As the 2-1 hit up and out of play on the first base side, the count now even at 2-2. But it is always really fun to be at the All-Star game, and I think this year is a little differently than was done a little differently than it had in years past. Normally it was an East versus West affair. As the 2-2, Rockers goes from second. The throw offline. Johnson able to take, Rockers goes to third from second. Johnson able to take second, and I believe that was ball 3. So the count now full. Runners on second and third for Baldwin City, and actually this is the second full count that Cade Adams has seen. Happened in the bottom of the first inning. That was also with 1 out. The payoff pitch here into center field. Stephen Fermin is under it. Maverick Rockers is going to tag up. Throw cut off. Actually, throw too short. Johnson remains at second base. But the sac fly gets the job done. Make that RBI number 2 for Cade Adams.
The first baseman, number 5, Kendall Rivera.
And Baldwin City extends their lead. It is now 3-1. With Kendall Rivera up at the plate. Rivera 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch that Rivera sees fouled off into the fence right in front of us. Behind him, in front of us. Strike 1. So the count 0-1 to Rivera. This one hit into center field. Stephen Fermin coming up and makes a leaping catch. And that'll do it. With Rivera retired, third inning is now over. 1 run off 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Baldwin City extends their lead to 2. They lead 3-1. And we will be back with the top of the third after the break. Corbin Evans leads off the top of the third inning for the Topeka Warhawks. They currently face a 3-1 deficit. Baldwin City extending their lead in the bottom of the second. Cade Adams with his second RBI. And the first pitch that Corbin Evans sees by pitcher Ty Clark is high for ball one. Evans rounds off the bottom of the lineup for Topeka. And so when his plate appearance is done, whether that be reaching base or being put out in some way, it will be Stephen Fermin, who is currently on deck. Corbin Evans sees the first strike of his at-bat. The count now 2-1. The 2-1, just a little bit outside for 3-1. The home plate umpire kind of got up like he was going to call it strike two, and I've definitely seen him call that, but alas, he does not. And the 3-1 is hit into left field. Brennan Johnson has to backtrack a little bit, but makes the catch. 1 out.
Back to the top of the order, the center fielder, number 20, Steve Fermin.
So Stephen Fermin, comes up to the plate with 1 out. He led the game off, only saw 1 pitch. Hit the ball not right to Cade Adams at third base, but hit the ball to Cade Adams at the third base. And the first pitch that he sees in this at-bat is inside for ball 1. But, yes, 0 for 1 for Fermin, who will be playing his college ball next year at Highland Community College, not the one in Kansas, the one in Illinois. I believe they are the Panthers. There's some large cat of some kind, and I will check that as he's seen 3 pitches, all of them balls. It is the Cougars as the 3-0 outside. And Stephen Fermin works himself a 4-pitch walk. Topeka with a base runner on with 1 out.
Hitter, number 29, Sean Gomez.
And up steps Sean Gomez, who I believe is Ty Clark's other walk. He's 0 for 0 with a walk. Later went on to score via an error in the top of the first. Represents Topeka's lone run. Takes the first pitch inside for strike 1. Gomez, a Topeka native himself, went to Shawnee Heights, I believe, for his high school ball. As he takes the first pitch, as the count's now 1-1. I believe Gomez had a hiatus last year as he sends this one into left field, and this one is gone. Sean Gomez, a 2-run shot, his second of the series, ties the game up at 3. And yep, I really have no. I don't know why I thought I had more to say. It was a no-doubter off the bat. It was. Yeah, you don't want to leave one like that to Gomez, and I think maybe based off the first at bat, Clark knew that. But this game is now tied, and in steps Alex Allman. So Clark has to regroup now, and obviously after a home run like that, you're always a little shaken, but it's how you regroup. As this pitch by Allman hit 2 Maverick Rockers at second base. The throw to first is in time. 2 outs now. And in steps
number 11, Joel Peguero.
In steps Joel Peguero, who sees first pitch to him, and therefore called strike 1. Peguero 0 for 0. However, he sack flied Sean Gomez in the top of the first, which at this point, this ball hit to Cade Adams at third base. They throw it over to first in time. So that'll do it here in the top of the third inning. The Topeka Warhawks tie it up at 3-3 off 2 runs, a 1 hit, which was a 2-run shot by Sean Gomez. No errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the third after the break. Logan Groh leads off the bottom of the third for Baldwin City. We now have a tie ball game, tied at 3-3. The first pitch by Dylan Quezada is in there for called strike 1. So, Yasno Ruiz's day is officially done. I will read his line after the pitch, which is a high speed 1-1. So Yasno Ruiz, 1 in the third inning pitched, 11 batters faced, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. The 1-1, nice breaking ball, strike 2. So it will be actually after the, now that this game is tied, as the 1-2 turned on late by Groh, and he fouls it off and to stay alive. Count remains at 1-2, so a no decision for Ruiz, no matter the outcome of this game. The 1-2 hit into center field. Stephen Vermeen giving chase, calls off the other fielders, and he makes the catch to retire Groh. 1 out in the bottom of the third. And up steps Andrew Brubeck. Brubeck 0 for 0, reached via a walk in the first inning. However, it was stranded as this pitch, lone outside for ball 1, was stranded on second base. The 1-0 drops in nicely for called strike 1. Brubeck hails from Shawnee, Kansas, was originally a Mill Valley Jaguar in high school, now has been a Highland Scotty and a Missouri Southern Lion in college. The 1-1, high for ball 2. Along with Andrew, there's another Brubeck on this team. It is Nick Brubeck. who's a couple years younger. He's a pitcher. As this one hit back to Quezada. He just makes the flip over to Alamon at first in time. 2 away now in just as many batters. And in steps Colton Howerton.
The center fielder, number 24, Colton Howerton.
The first pitch that Colton Howerton sees is outside for ball 1. Howerton 0 for 0 with a walk. Was stranded on first at the end of the first inning. Baldwin City, of course, in that as this pitch just inside. 2-1 the count. Baldwin City they scored 2 runs to take the lead. However, stranded 3 more on the base paths. And now that this game is tied, you always want more runs. You can tell they definitely wanted them then. As the 2-0, low and away for ball 3. The 3-0 to Howerton nearly hits him, and it would have been the same result either way. A trip to first base. Colton Howerton works himself a second 4-pitch walk in as many plate appearances. And Baldwin City with a runner on with 2 outs, and Tyler Tamaz stepping up to the plate.
The designated hitter, number 16, Tyler Tamaz.
Tyler Tamaz 0 for 1 in this game so far. As Quezada throws over first. Can't find Howerton. But Tamaz 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was to end the first inning. And he sees the first pitch, an inside pitch, but called strike 1. So 0-1. Quezada throws over to second. First. Can't find Howerton. So 0-1 still the count. A high off speed swung on and missed. And Tyler Tamaz sees 0-2. The 0-2 outside for ball 1. And the count now 1-2. Howerton gets Quezada to step off. Not sure he was set, because that would be disengagement number 3. But this one, an inside pitch, thought it hit Tamaz, but it would appear I was wrong. But the count now 2-2. Deuces are wild. There's a 2-2-2 and a 3-3-3 up on the scoreboard. The 2-2 fouled off, so it will remain at 2s. But the scoreboard out in left center field says 2-2-2 for the balls and strikes and outs, and 3-3-3 for the runs for both teams, as well as the inning we are in. And there's a runner on first, so that's the outlier. The 2-2, this one hits Tamaz, and he takes his base the hard way. Baldwin City with runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Jackson Evans coming up to the plate.
Fielder number 4, Jackson Evans.
Evans is 0 for 1 in this game, led off the bottom of the second with a ground out to second base. Obviously would like to put a ball in play and reach first base safely in whatever way that entails. Obviously, unless it's a fielder's choice, he takes the first pitch, a breaking ball in the inner part of the zone for called strike one. A quick little exchange by pitcher Dylan Quezada and catcher Ryan Mendiola. And we are ready to go once more. The 0-1 swung on and hand up, I flinched. That one fouled off. If there was not a fence, a window protecting me, I would have gotten hit. So I think I'm absolved on that one. But the count is 0-2 to Jackson Evans. The 0-2 swung on and hit to Joel Peguero at third. All he does is run over and touch third base. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the third. No runs off, no hits, no errors. They strand two. We are still tied after 3 innings of play. We will go to the top of the fourth after the break.
Rocker.
Maverick Rockers leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. Tie ball game here in Baldwin City, and I apologize, I believe I was actually unfortunately on mute for the entirety of the top of the 4th. Didn't mean to if that was the case. Seeing a couple questions in the chat. Firstly, is this, Kenneth Suggs, is this the Summer College League in Kansas? Yes, it is. 3 teams in Kansas, 1 in Missouri. And Yvonne Warren asking the score of Junction City and the Midwest A's as the second pitch that Maverick Rocker sees is high for ball 2. It is currently 6-0 in favor of the visiting Junction City Brigade in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Midwest A's with a runner on first with 1 out, looking to at least get something going. The A's down in that game as this one sent to right field and into the glove of Lane Wilkerson for out number 1. And up steps Brennan Johnson.
Left fielder number 3, Brennan Johnson.
Johnson comes into this plate appearance at 1-for-1. Shows bunt, pulls back. Ball 1. It is Dylan Quezada out for another inning for the Topeka Warhawks as this one sent up into the air at a play to even up the count at 1-1. Normally Brett is here to do our weather report, but he's not. It is just me, if you haven't figured that one out. As this one hit to Darian Pretorius at second base. The throw to first close, but in time. 2 outs. And up now for Baldwin City is Cade Adams. So the weather right now is currently 8-11.
Cade Adams.
It's 80 degrees in Baldwin City, expected to drop to about 78 by 9, which is in roughly 50 minutes, and 75 by 10. First pitch Cade Adams sees, low for ball 1. I would imagine we're probably done by 10 o'clock, but you never know. There was one game, I think a couple of years ago, I was here until like 11:10, and it was a 7 o'clock game. That was a crazy one, as this one hit into right center field. Stephen Fermin able to make the grab, so that'll do it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 5th, still tied at 3. Corbin Evans leads off the top of the 5th inning. His first pitch he sees by Ty Clark is high for ball 1. Okay, broadcast is not on break anymore. Okay, there we go. So the count 1-0 to Evans, who is 0 for 1. Count now even at 1-1. Evans, like I said, 0 for 1 with a flyout to left field. Evans, the 9-hitter. I believe this is the second time he has led off a... This is the second time he's led off an inning. I believe it was the third as he swings and misses at the high pitch. The count now 1-2. The 1-2 outside. Count even up now at 2-2. The 2-2 hit up the middle and over the glove of Maverick Rockers into right center field. Corbin Evans on with a leadoff single, and for the second consecutive inning, Topeka Warhawks on with the leadoff runner.
Back to the top of the order, the center fielder number 20, Steve Fermin.
And up steps Stephen Fermin, who is the leadoff runner. He shows bunt but quickly pulls back. Count now 1-0. Fermin 0 for 1 with a ground out in his first at bat. However, walked via a 4-pitch walk in his last at bat. So this one in there for called strike 1. Count now 1-1. And was brought home via a 2-run home run by the man on deck, Sean Gomez, who hit his second of the season. Fermin gets a bunt down. Ty Clark over to field it. He throws over to first, and that's off the bag. So nobody retired. And runners on first and second for the Topeka Warhawks. And
Number 29, Sean Gomez.
gonna borrow a term from cricket for a second. The danger man, Sean Gomez, up at the plate. Gomez 1 for 1. Has reached base twice, walked in the top of the first, and we later go on to score there, and then tied the game up at 3 as we see it now with a home run in the top of the third. So he is in some way responsible for all of Topeka's runs. The 1-0 high for ball 2. The 2-0 swung on and missed. Count now 2-1. Evans at second, Fermin at first, so Topeka Warhawks with some speed on the bases, as we saw with actually Fermin reaching first. Ty Clark did hesitate a little bit, but can't do that with Fermin as the 2-1 down the heart of the plate. Gomez wanted that one, took another big cut. Count now at 2-2. The 2-2 hit foul on down the first base side. Count remains at 2-2. The 2-2 hit up into the air, once again foul on the first base side. Not much going on in the world of sports. As far as professionals go, I believe the only thing on is the MLB, as the 2-2 just outside. And the count now full. However, the Olympics starts tomorrow, so should be really fun. Men's soccer and men's rugby sevens, the first events, and then I believe the opening ceremonies are not until Friday. But I'm excited. The payoff pitch. In there for called strike 3. Gomez, as Corbin Evans goes to second. They catch Fermin at second, so a rare strikeout double play as Gomez flipped his bat and went to first. And I think that fooled the other two base runners into believing it was a strike. So 2 outs on the play. Corbin Evans credited with a stolen base. That's how he gets to third. But Fermin technically caught stealing. There is 2 away with Alex Allman at the plate. Yep, so I don't even think Gomez realized, as the first pitch that Allman sees is inside for strike 1. I don't even think Gomez realized it was a strike until he got to first base. It was one of those kind of like, could go both ways calls, as the 1-0 is high for 2-0. And we're going to have a mound visit and a short break. So after the mound visit, the count remains 2-2 to Alex Allman. Runner on third in Corbin Evans, the 2-0 high, and Andrew Brubeck has to jump to catch it, but does successfully, so don't worry about Corbin Evans going home, but the count now 3-0 to Corbin Evans. Not Corbin Evans, Alex Allman, the 3-0 in there for 3-1. Evans is on third, Allman at home. Sometimes my mind just draws a blank. Not draws a blank. The 3-1 swung on, and the count now full. Was a high pitch that I think Allman wanted to send out. He is a pretty dangerous hitter. However, just went into the backstops. The count now full, and the payoff pitch hit to Maverick Rockers at second base. Has to make a weird play on it. The throw over to first is offline. Going to call that a hit, though, because far from routine. An infield single by Alex Allman gives Topeka Warhawks a lead. The visitors lead 4-3 with Joel Peguero up at the plate.
The third baseman, number 11, Joel Peguero.
First pitch Peguero sees is hit to Logan Groh at short. The throw over to first in time. So that'll do it here in the top of the 5th inning. Topeka Warhawks take the lead off 1 run. 1 run off 3 hits. No errors, 1 left on. Score now 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th after the break.
First baseman number 5.
Well, Kendall Rivera leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for Baldwin City. Baldwin City facing their second deficit of the game, but their first since the bottom of the first, which they quickly tied up and actually took the lead. It was tied going into the top of the frame, and infield single by Alex Allman brought Corbin Evans home. And the first pitch Kendall Rivera sees, fouled on the third base side, 0-1. Rivera 0 for 2 in this game, with a strikeout and a flyout, looking to get on base. And actually, if he does get on base, he would be Baldwin City's first leadoff runner on. But he's got to get there first. The 0-1, Bike is low for ball 1, 1-1. It is Dylan Quezada out for another inning of work. That pitch that he just threw was pitch number 40. Excuse me. I'm very hungry right now. The 1-1 catches the lone outside part of the plate. I don't know what you call it. It's not exactly a quadrant, a third. It's a ninth. Let the count 1-2. And the 1-2 high for ball 2. It's kind of crazy how, not crazy, but the batting, I'll come up with it after this pitch. The 2-2 hit high, and this will not leave the infield. Joel Peguero, actually, Jefferson Teneo and Peguero both under it. It is Teneo that makes the catch for out number 1.
The shortstop number 11, Logan Grove.
So Logan Grove, the next batter up at the plate. Grove is 1 for 2 in this contest, with a single and a flyout, as he sends this one straight to the glove of Joel Peguero at third base. The throw over to first in time.
The catcher, number 19, Andrew Brubeck.
And up to the plate is Andrew Brubeck. First pitch that Brubeck sees is outside for ball 1. Count now 1-0 to Brubeck, who is 0 for 1. Make the count 2-0. The 2-0 high and in for ball 3, so 3-0 count. The other playoff game remains at 6-0 in favor of Junction City Brigade. It's now the bottom of the 5th. The Midwest A's with 2 runners on with 1 out, looking to take a lead. The 3-0 is high for ball 4. Andrew Brubeck with the 4-pitch walk. Baldwin City with another runner, this time with 2 outs.
Fielder number 24, Colden Howerton.
And Colden Howerton up at the plate. Howerton 0 for 0 in this game with 2 walks, as he sees the first pitch in this plate appearance. High for ball 1. Obviously, if he repeats what he's doing, he will extend the inning, but I think he would maybe like to get a hit and at least move Brubeck possibly over to third. The 1-0 outside for ball 2. So, after time called, a little bit of a meeting of the minds at the mound, but done now and ready to go. The count 2-0 to Howerton. Quezada throws over to first to try to catch Brubeck. The ball actually out of the glove of Alex Alleman, but did not go far enough to even elicit an attempt from Andrew Brubeck. As 2-0 outside. Count now 3-0. Quezada throws over at first again. Cannot find Brubeck. 3-0 remains the account as the 3-0 in there for called strike one, so that breaks the ball streak or drought of strikes, depending on how you want to look at it, and the count is now 3-1. The 3-1 in there. Howerton thought it was Howerton thought it was ball four. However, strike two it is. So the count now full. Howerton's gonna have to regroup as 3-2 with 2 outs. The count, and this one fouled off. We will go again. Payoff pitch, high for ball four. And after what it was an at bat or a plate appearance that started at 3-0, and then after some toil, Howerton eventually worked the 2-out walk. He's got runners on first and second now, so a runner in scoring position for Baldwin City, and Tyler Tamaz at the plate. Tamaz 0 for 1 tonight, has not put a ball in play. Struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first. The first pitch that he sees is low for ball one. So struck out to end the first, and then was hit by a pitch, and I believe that was the bottom of the third inning. And the 1-0 just the same inside for ball two. High for ball three. And count now 3-0. To Tyler Tamaz. Make that ball four, and after the first 2 outs, Baldwin City has worked three walks in a row. They have bases loaded with 2 outs, and Jackson Evans up to the plate. We're going to have a mound visit first, and with that, we will take a short break. All right, back from the break.
Now batting the right fielder number 4.
Ready to go. It's Jackson Evans up the plate looking to drive a run home in some way. Currently, Evans is 0 for 2 with two ground balls to the infield. One was a ground out, one was a fielder's choice. But he is going to look to, however he can do it, any kind of way that he reaches first would mean a run as he takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. So whether that be any of the 7 we said, actually not any of the 7 because one of them is a fielder's choice, but a fielder's choice doesn't always mean that the batter is out or that the base runner is out. As the 1-0 hit up the middle and into center field. Andrew Brubeck scores. Colton Howerton being waved around. The throw is offline, and Jackson Evans gets to second. That will be on the throw, but Baldwin City takes the lead. It is now 5-4 off the 2 RBI single by Jackson Evans. And we're going to have a mound visit. Another one, so this should be the end of Dylan Quezada's day. And we will let you know who the new pitcher is, if there in fact is one, after the break. Back from the break, it is a new pitcher. It is Jefferson Camillo. Maverick Rockers will be the first batter he faces. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. And Baldwin City with the 5-4 lead. And the first pitch by Camillo is in there for called strike 1. The 0-1 is fouled off to the first base side. The count now 0-2. The 0-2 hit into left field over the head of Corbin Evans, and he cannot get it. It goes off the fence, 2 more score. An RBI, a 2 RBI double by Maverick Rockers extends the Baldwin City Blues lead. They now lead 7-4. That was a tough play for Evans to make, playing up a little bit and had to backtrack and eventually went over his head and ended up. It did not. I do not believe it hit the wall on the fly. However, it did hit the wall on the bounce. But job is done. Baldwin City now leads 7-4. After that double, and Brennan Johnson at the plate. First pitch, Brennan Johnson sees outside, 4-1. The 1-0 swung on a missed. Count now 1-1. So 1-1 to Johnson. Maverick Rockers caught off the bag a little bit. Command throws back to first, back to second, cannot find him. If he threw to first, then that would be interesting. I do wonder if any pitcher has ever thrown to an unoccupied base. I mean, it definitely has, like maybe in lower levels, as Maverick Rockers goes to third, as he is in there safely, and that is also ball 2. Runner on. So Baldwin City now with a runner on third. And the count now 2-1. Make that 3 now as the pitch low for ball 1. Or excuse me, ball 3. I just saw a Twitter trend. It's name 5 movies and add 10 friends. I might name 5 movies after the pitch, which is ball 4. Runners at the corners for Baldwin City now with Kate Adams up to the plate.
The third baseman, number 18, Kate Adams.
So, okay, I'll name five movies. Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, Mad Max 3, Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max Fury Road, and Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, as the first pitch that Kate Adams sees is fouled off for 0-1. Yeah, that was just all 5 Mad Max movies. Hopefully Furiosa is coming to HBO Max soon. Camillo throws it over to first to try to catch Johnson. Cannot find him. I'll name five more movies. Okay, Airplane 2, The Naked Gun. I think there's The Naked Gun 2 and 3. There's 5. Airplane's where I get a lot of my humor as Camillo throws back to first. Cannot find Johnson. Let's find out. The Naked Gun. O.J. Simpson was in the first Naked Gun movie. That was when he was supposed to be... Okay, there are actually 4 Naked Gun movies, but one is... As this one is hit to Jefferson Teneo. Actually, passed the glove up Teneo at short. He's going to score another run. And it's a single, as that one far from not so routine. I love to use that phrase a lot, but it gets into the outfield. One more runner scores.
Number 5, Kendall Rivera.
So the score is now 8-4 in favor of Baldwin City, with Kendall Rivera up at the plate. And with this at bat and first pitch, Kendall Rivera fouls off. Baldwin City has officially batted around. Kendall Rivera started off the inning with a pop out. And he will finish, well, maybe not finish it. We'll see. He will at least continue it. He may end it. The 0-2, or the 0-1 in there for called strike 2. So the count now 0-2. And all of this has been done by Baldwin City with 2 outs. Pop out, ground out to start 3 consecutive walks. Single, double, walk, single. Now we're here. You are here. As, a map would say, the 0-2 fouled off. Count remains at 0-2. Okay, so there's 3 Naked Gun movies, but there's a 4th set to come out in 2025. I'll be interested to see how that goes. The 0-2 hit up into the air, and I believe this one will remain in play. It is Ryan Mendiola not able to grab it. So Kendall Rivera with another life. Much like the mascot of his college, the Wildcats, he might have 9 lives. Kind of reached out. Do big cats have 9 lives? Because, small cats do. Like pet cats do, but I feel like big cats are not as beholden, as the 0-2 in there. Breaking ball for called strike 3, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Baldwin City plates 5 runs off 3 hits, no errors, leaving 2 on base. They not only tie the game up, they take the lead with an 8-4 score. And we will take a break and be back with the top of the 6th inning.
Leading off the top of the 6th for Topeka, the right fielder number 15, Lane Wilkerson.
Lane Wilkerson leads off the top of the 6th inning. Topeka Warhawks currently trail 8-4, and it's a new pitcher. There's a new sheriff in town. It's Nick Brubeck replacing Ty Clark. We will read Ty Clark's line in just one moment. First 2 pitches by Brubeck to Wilkerson, both called strikes. Ty Clark, 5 innings pitched, 22 batters faced, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 1 hit by pitch. As it stands right now, I believe Clark would be credited with the win. Should the lead go on? Is this one chopped foul? Just barely. As Rivera was there for it, and it definitely would have been an out at first, but that is not the case. So the count remains at 0-2. This one hit up into the air, into center field. And it is Colton Howerton right at the fence to make the grab. So 1 out. I might name 5 different movies for each inning. As it is Ryan Mendiola at the plate. So, ooh, I could do 5 movies easily. First pitch to Mendiola is high for ball 1. Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek 4, which actually never happened. That was not a movie. And let's go. As this one is hit foul on the third base side. Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. There, 5 more. Shrek 4 is maybe one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. Shrek 5, I believe, is the one coming out, though. The 1-1 hit to Cade Adams at third base. The throw over to first. High. Rivero had to jump to get it, but came down in time for out number 2. And Darian Pretorius up at the plate.
The second baseman, number 3, Darian Pretorius.
I think that's I think the purpose of the trend on Twitter is that pitch is low for ball 1 was to kind of try to show 5 different movies, but I think it's more fun if I just rattle them off. The 1-0 swung on a miss. The count now 1-1. Airplane. I mentioned that Naked Gun had O.J. Simpson. Airplane had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's actually Roger Murdoch. The 1-1 low for ball 2. Trying to think of other athletes appearing in non-sports movies is always a fun one, and I'm trying to think of more. As the 2-1 nice breaking ball catches the inside part of the zone, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Mike Tyson and the one in Las Vegas was the 3 guys.
The 3 Amigos.
Was that it?
No, that's Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and I can't remember who the 3rd Amigo is.
Well, he went with Ryan Reynolds. Was it Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, The Hangover.
The Hangover, yeah. Mike Tyson.
The 2-2. Mike Tyson was in The Hangover. And I'm going to figure out who the 3rd Amigo is, because this is going to bother me. Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short. The 2-2. Plunks Pretorius in the back. Topeka with a runner on second. A runner on first with 2 outs, and Jefferson Teneo up at the plate. Now we'll think of more movies.
With athletes in it, right?
Yes. Well, maybe more movies, but
The shortstop, number
at
4,
non.
Jefferson Teneo.
Was a movie about the Olympic runners in 1916, I believe.
1916. That would have been
1921. Maybe 1920.
the first pitch outside for ball 1. I'm trying to think of where the 16 Olympics was. Well, the 2016 Olympics was in Rio de Janeiro. The 1-0 and therefore 1-1.
Because of World War I.
It might have. It might not have. I can do all the Olympics dating back to, I believe, 1968.
Let's see. Do you know why the marathon is 26?
The marathon is 26.2 miles because of the battle at Marathon. Supposedly a runner ran to deliver a message that as this one to the glove of Maverick Rockers. The throw over to first is in time. What a play by the second baseman, Maverick Rockers, and that does it here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. Baldwin City retains their 8-4 lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning after the break. Look and Grow leads off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Baldwin City Blues. They currently hold an 8-4 lead. The first pitch by Jefferson Camilla to Grow is outside for ball 1. 2000 was Sydney. It was the second time as the 1-0 was high for strike 1. It was, and yes, 2032 will be the third time it is in Australia, as Brisbane will host. It was Sydney in 2000 and Melbourne. Xander Schauffele won the gold medal in golf. Yes, none. That was the first year. The 2-1, lone outside for ball 3. We're kind of just going through trivia in the booth, and I hope you can pick up the voices. Was it Justin Rose? Oh, was 2016 the first year of it? Okay. The 2-1 hit into right field. Lane Wilkerson backtracking to get it, but raises his glove, makes the catch, and makes the first out of the inning. But the third time, or the first time Australia hosted it, which I believe was the first time that the Olympics were ever held in the Southern Hemisphere, was in 1956 when they were held in Melbourne. Although the equestrian events were held in the Netherlands that year. Next batter up is Andrew Brubeck, who sees first pitch low for ball 1. Brubeck is 0 for 1 in this contest, with 2 walks and a ground out.
He won the decathlon in 1976.
Is that Jenner? This one hit into left center field, and Fermin thought, and truth be told, he had me fooled, as Brubeck's going to go to third. He gets down, and he's there in time. A triple for Andrew Brubeck, so Fermin, I think, thought it was over to left center field, and truly he had me fooled. And it lost it in the lights. It dropped right about in dead center, and Brubeck took advantage of that and got all the way to third base. Baldwin City with a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Colton Howerton up at the plate. He swings on the first offering, fouls it off for strike 1, or 0-1. Howerton 0 for 0 so far with three walks. So that's pretty impressive. I believe the most I've seen as far as walks in a game was a couple Saturdays ago, as Howerton takes the next pitch in there for strike 2. Blake Veneman of the Midwest A's went 0 for 1, and the first 0 for 1, and the 1 was in the 9th inning. He had 5 plate appearances prior to them. All of them were walks. And I believe like 3 of them were full count walks, as Howerton swings on the 0-2 at an upstairs off speed for strike 3 and the second out. And that brings up Tyler Tamez.
Hitter number 16, Tyler Tamez.
Tamez 0 for 1.
One notable thing happened in the 72 Olympics. And then there's also
The first pitch.
who was the best athlete in that Olympics. Won 5 gold medals, I believe.
The count is 0-1 to Tamez. Make that 1-1. The fastball is alone in the dirt. Low, left to right, perfect, but in the dirt for ball 1. So the count now 1-1 to Tamez. He sends this one to past the glove of Jefferson Teneo, and that one is an error.
No. I give that a hit. That was a makeable.
Mm.
Nah, I give that a hit. Give him a hit.
I've been told by the powers that be to give him a hit. So
The powers that be here at our home.
yeah,
So, powers that be
I should.
Yeah, give that a hit. I'm giving that a
Right
hit.
fielder number
It's a hit, though.
Jackson Evans.
And it brings home another run. So the score now 9-4. With Jackson Evans up the plate, he takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Evans is 1 for 3. Currently has the As the current, what is right now the go-ahead runs, tying and go-ahead runs, but the count is 1-1. The 1-1 in there for 1-2. The 1-2 hit up the middle once again, and into the outfield moves Andrew Brubeck to second base. Baldwin City keeps the inning alive.
I don't think he has his jersey with him, but I don't know. I was told before the game.
After the 2-out single by Jackson Evans.
Back to the top of the order, the second baseman, number 29, Maverick Rockers.
Why did that with Quinn? He was going to start.
Maverick Rockers. The next batter up, the first pitch he sees is a fastball strike. So 0-1 the count. Rockers 2 for 4. And the 0-1 in there. Count now 0-2. So 0-2 to Rockers. 0-2 fouled off, and the count remains at 0-2. So, going to read the score of the other playoff game in the Mid-Plains League. Junction City leads as the 1-2. Both runners go. Maverick Rockers swings and misses, so that'll do it here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
In the bottom of the 6th for
Baldwin City plates another 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They stray in 2. They extend their lead to 9-4, and we will come back after the break with the top of the 7th inning. Corbin Evans leads off the top of the 7th inning. First pitch that he sees, low for ball 1. The score right now is the 1-0, lone in the dirt for ball 2. Score stands at 9-4 in favor of Baldwin City, as the 2-0 is in there for called strike 1, so the count now 2-1. So the game's so Baldwin City has actually scored 6 unanswered. Evans swings at the high off speed. Count now 2-2. So Topeka started the game off, scoring the first run in the top of the first. Baldwin City countered with 2 in the Topeka scored in the top of the first. The 2-2 hit into shallow right field, and as Maverick Rockers coming all the way from second base to make the grab. That's a long way to run, and there was Rivero. It was Evans, Rivero, and Rockers all kind of in the area, but it was Rockers that made the grab. As Stephen Vermeen comes back to the plate to give the Topeka Warhawks the top of the order. So Topeka scored the first run in the top of the first. Baldwin City countered with 2 in the bottom of the first and 1 in the bottom of the second. Topeka tied it up via a 2-run home run by Sean Gomez in the third and took the lead in the top of the fifth, as that one is in there for called strike 1. So they got 2 and 1. And then Baldwin City immediately countered with 6 unanswered, 5 in the bottom of the fifth, 1 in the bottom of the sixth. And they got now 3 and 1, but the score remains at 9-4. The 3-1 swung on and missed, and the count goes full. The payoff pitch hit into the outfield, into left field. Stephen Vermeen on with a 1-out single. And up to the plate comes Sean Gomez. Gomez 1 for 2. Has reached base twice, walk and a home run.
Number 29, Sean Gomez.
Then struck out in his last trip up to the plate. Looking to maybe hit another home run and at least cut the deficit. The first pitch he sees is a fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1. This one hit past the glove of Cade Adams into left field once again. Stephen Vermeen holds up at second. But the second consecutive hit, and the Topeka Warhawks with runners on first and second with 1 out, and Alex Allman up to the plate.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Alex Allman.
Allman steps up, trying to get a job done, and he just might. This one into center field. Colton Howerton cannot grab it. There will be a throw to home, but it's off the line. Stephen Vermeen scores and cuts the lead to 4. Sean Gomez gets to second, but holds up there. An RBI single by Alex Allman. And the score is now 9-5 with Joel Peguero up at the plate.
The third baseman, number 11, Joel Peguero.
It took just one pitch for Allman to do that, the first pitch of the at-bat. And at least get something going here in the top of the 7th. Nick Brubeck craning his head. The first pitch by Peguero. This one might be out. It's not. It hits the wall, but it scores 1. It's going to score a second. And the deficit is now just 2. Off the 2 RBI double by Joel Peguero. And now the tying run is at the plate. And that tying run currently being represented by Lane Wilkerson. After a quick mound visit. Back from the mound visit by manager Wilson Kilmer.
Fielder number 15, Lane Wilkerson.
The first batter after the mound visit is Lane Wilkerson. Just a runner on second in Joel Peguero. As first pitch, Nick Brubeck sees that throws just outside for ball one. Make that strike one. That one in there, and the Topeka Warhawks dugout is spilled out almost all onto the field, and they're quite lively and trying to will their team to another one as the 1-1 low for ball two. And so the count now 2-1. That's the 2-1 in there for called strike two. The count even now up at 2-2. Like I said, the Warhawks dugout, a few of them feet in the grass. The 2-2, the 2-1 hit to Maverick Rockers at second. The throw over to first in time. Peguero moves over to third, but the second out of the inning is made. With Damian Angel pinch hitting and presumably coming in to catch, he replaces Ryan Mendiola. Oh, the broadcast is not on the break, but I figured you guys know that now. I just took it down. The first pitch that Damian Angel sees is in there for called strike one. So Angel will presumably come in to replace Mendiola as a catcher, as that is his primary position, and that's who he's replacing. The 0-1 fouled off. Make the count 0-2. The 0-2 high for ball one. This one fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. The 1-2 hit to short. The throw over to first is off the bag. And Ken Rivera can't get his foot down, so Stephen Fermin is driven in off an E4. Is that E6? It was actually Groh that made the throw, and that's what I thought, but I really wasn't sure. However, it scores Peguero, and the game is tied at, not tied, but the lead is just one as the first pitch to Darian Pretorius sees, fouled off into the backstop. The count now 0-1. The 0-1, nice breaking ball in there for called strike two. The 0-2 swung on and missed. So that'll do it here in the top of the seventh inning. Baldwin still leads, but the lead is just one. Topeka scores 4 runs off 4 hits, 1 inning. They strand 1. The score is 9-8, and with that, we will take a break before coming back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Brennan Johnson leads off the bottom of the 7th inning. Score 9-8 in favor of Baldwin City. Topeka scoring 4 in the top of this frame. Just got the lead to 1. And Jefferson Camillo out to try to keep the lead at 1. Brennan Johnson trying to stop him from that and possibly extend the lead. First pitch, Johnson sees in the outer third of the zone for strike 1. Johnson 1 for 2 in tonight's contest. A double on his first at bat, 2 walks and a ground out as the 0-1 low for ball 1. Johnson calls time. I think just readjusting his gloves and everything. Just about ready to go.
I'll play it after this. I wanted Sweet Caroline for this stuff.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's a good choice.
Because paying my homage to my friends.
The 1-1 hit to Jefferson Teneo at short. The throw over to first in time. 1 out for Cade Adams up at the plate.
The third baseman, number 18, Cade Adams.
Swung on it and missed. The count now 1-1 to Adams. Make that 2-1 as the breaking ball goes low and outside for ball 2. This one hit up into the air and out of play. Count now 2-2. Camilla steps off, but ready to go once again. Count 2-2 to Adams. Adams swings at an outside breaking ball. Strikeout. I believe that is strikeout number 4 for Jefferson Camillo. And there are 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch that Kendall Rivera sees, and there are 4 called strike 1. Rivera looking for his first hit. Has either struck out, which he has done twice, or allowed them as this one is hit to left field. Corbin Evans makes a nice catch. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors. None left on the 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. Baldwin City holding a 9-8 lead after the break. back with the top of the 8th. Jefferson Teneo leading off. He currently has the count at 0-2. I apologize for the lights come back to break. I got my headset tangled in the chair. The 0-2, low for ball 1. It is Brendan Johnson out to pitch. He comes in from left field. Ryan Cox replaces him out in left, and Ryan Cox will bat in Tyler Tamez's spot because the pitcher is coming in to hit. This means there is no designated hitter. As the 1-2, low and in for 2-2. The 2-2 hit up into the air. It is Colton Howerton giving chase. Actually, Jackson Evans making the grab. Kind of one of those things where three guys converged under it, but the play was made. It means there is now 1 out, not 2. I forgot to switch over the outs. Clearly, I had a lot going on. But one out now with Corbin Evans, the next batter up. And the first pitch that Evans sees is a kind of breaking ball, and therefore called strike 1. The 0-1 hit into center field. Corbin Evans on with the 1-out single, and that means that the tying run is at first base. And Topeka Warhawks circle back to the top of their lineup. It is Stephen Fermin. Fermin 2 for 3 in this contest, and as he swings at the first pitch, count now 0-1. Fermin has reached base on every at bat since his first, grounded out in his first at bat, and has since walked and singled twice. One of them was on a bunt attempt. So he is 2 for 3, and this one goes through the legs of Andrew Brubeck. The count now 1-1, and the tying run in scoring position. The 1-1 in there for called strike 2. Definitely on the lower inner part of the plate, but still a strike is what was called. So the count now 1-2, 2 for Mean. This one fouled off to the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. So 1-2 remains the count. With the 1-2 inside, evens up the count at 2-2. And barring a freak double play, it will be Sean Gomez who is on deck. No matter what happens here, the 2-2 turned on, past the glove of Cade Adams into left field. Corbin Evans thought about going home, didn't end up going, and the Topeka Warhawks have runners at the corners with 1 out. And Sean Gomez at the plate. Gomez 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. Not the guy that you want up with runners in scoring position. The tying run at third, the leading run at first. And one of the better power hitters in the league in the batter's box. First pitch that Gomez sees, and therefore called strike 1. The 0-1 Swung on and missed. However, Fermin took a chance to go to second base. The count now 0-2. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Topeka, and you have to think that on any kind of batted ball, well, not any kind of batted ball, but any safely batted ball, they will go. Time is called by the batter Gomez, but they will go, and Evans and Fermin both with some speed. They could easily go home at a moment's notice. The 0-2 just inside. The count now 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Sean Gomez is sat down. 2 outs here in the top of the 8 with Alex Alleman up at the plate.
The first baseman, number 12, Alex Alleman.
Alleman 2 for 4, and now you would think, as this one is fouled off on the third base side, now you would think any batted ball, both Evans and Fermin will go. But the count is 0-1 to Alleman, who, like I said, is 2 for 4 and has put the ball in play every time and has actually reached base 3 times, as the 0-1 is on the outer third of the zone for called strike 2. So he sees 0-2. The 0-2 hit into the glove of Logan Groh, and crisis averted. Baldwin City avoids the early jam. No runs off 2 hits, no errors. Topeka Warhawks strand 2. Baldwin City keeps their 9-8 lead. We will see if they add to it in the bottom of the 8th after the break. Logan Groh leads off the bottom of the 8th for Baldwin City. Baldwin City currently leading 9-8. And as a new pitcher for Topeka Warhawks, it is designated hitter Sean Gomez. Replaces Jefferson Camillo. Camillo The next pitch, low for ball 2. Camillo, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 13 batters faced, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
Can I announce Andrew when he comes to the plate? Please. This might be his last at bat.
The 2-0 in there for called strike 1.
Just be careful with it because like, it has this weird thing where even if it's off,
The 2-1, low and outside, 4 ball 3.
broadcast is on break.
The broadcast is not on break. I forgot to take the banner down. Whoops. 3-1 inside, and Logan Groh works himself a 5-pitch walk.
This is good. This is good.
And Baldwin City with a leadoff runner.
Now batting for your Baldwin City Blues, catcher, number 19, Andrew Brubeck.
As Andrew Brubeck steps up to the plate, trying to add to Baldwin City's lead. Gomez throws over to first to try to catch Groh, cannot find him. First pitch that Brubeck sees is low for ball 1. There's a bug on my screen, but unfortunately my laptop a touchscreen, and we're going to go to a break as quick mound visit by manager Jose Suero.
Okay, we're back with the bottom of the 8th. So Alex Allman comes over from first to pitch. Sean Gomez changes. And the first pitch that Allman sees or throws to Brubeck is a ball. That one, a strike, so the count now 2-1. So what happened was Topeka had gone over their max amount of allowed mound visits, and because there was a mound visit in that case, Gomez had to be subbed out, at least from being a pitcher, as the next pitch that Brubeck sees is low for ball 1. Or, excuse me, ball 3. So Gomez at least moves over to first so that Topeka keeps him in the batting lineup and moves Allman to pitcher. This one deep to left field, and that's a no-doubter. A 2-run Andrew Brubeck home run extends the Baldwin City lead to 3. And that's home run number 2 on the season for Andrew Brubeck. And that was much like Sean Gomez's home run in the top of the 3rd. That was a no-doubter. Off the bat, yeah. It couldn't have been anything else, but that means that Baldwin City extends their lead to 3, and they still have 3 outs to play with in this at bat. So I believe then, as Howerton pulls back, shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1. So either way, excuse me, so I believe one of those runs as Howerton turns around, but that's called strike 2. So Gomez is charged with 1 run, Allman charged with 1 run, so Gomez's final line is 1 batter faced, no hits, 1 run, that run earned. As the 0-2, low for ball 1. Ooh. So the count now 1-2 to Colton Howerton. And this one called strike 3, or maybe a swing and miss. However, he's able to reach 3rd on the drop 3rd strike. So a swinging drop 3rd reached. And we have Ryan Cox making his first plate appearance of the evening. He replaces Tyler Tamez in the designated hitter spot, however, playing in left field. And the first pitch he sees, swung and a missed for strike 1. The other game in the Mid-Plains League, currently all Junction City so far. However, Midwest A's have put some runs on. It is currently 15-6 in favor of the visiting Brigade in the bottom of the 8th, and should that result hold, then Junction City is into their... This will be the 4th consecutive season that they have reached a championship series, and they've won it the last 3 years. Allman throws over to catch Howerton, and he got him. So, by the way, the count 0-2. Make that 1 out on the pickoff. So, yes, 1 away. Make that pitch low in the dirt. Count now 1-2. But Junction City did not participate in the 2020 season. However, has... I wish I had the number in front of me. They've won so many, and so many in a row. They've won 7 in total as the 1-2 swung on by Cox and missed for strike 3. So just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th, and in steps Jackson Evans.
Right fielder number 4, Jackson Evans.
As Jackson Evans steps in with 2 outs. Evans is 2 for 4 with 2 singles, and one single was, at the time, the go-ahead run, or the go-ahead 2 RBI single. Took the game from 3-2 in favor of, 4-3 in favor of Topeka to 5-4 in favor of Baldwin City. That pitch low in the dirt for ball 2. And then singled, and wish I had it in front of me what he did. I'm doing Game Changer, not the book tonight, so as this one, just the same as the last one, hit into left field as he's going to go 2 as Fermin mishandles that, and Evans going to third, caught out trying to stretch that, but it is a whole lot happened there, so it's a single to left, advances to second on an error by Fermin.
In the bottom of the 8th for the Blues, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error.
And then
Left on base. We go to the 9th. The Blues lead.
Evans thrown out, trying to stretch that to third base. And we're going to go take a break. 2 runs off 2 hits, including 1 Andrew Rubeck home run, 1 error, and nobody left on. Baldwin City extends their lead. It's now 11-8 as we go into the top of the 9th inning after the break. Joel Peguero leads off the top of the 9th inning, trying to, well, the Warhawks have 3 outs to score 3 or more runs. 3 would tie it, 4 would give them the lead. Brandon Johnson out for another inning of work. And the first pitch that Johnson throws in there for called strike 1. The 0-1, make that 0-2. This one fouled off on the first base side. The count now 0-2. The 0-2 inside, and Peguero got out of the way of it, so the count now at 1-2. The 1-2 hit into center field. Colton Howerton trying to get to it, cannot. So, Joel Peguero with his second hit of the game. A lead-off single. Topeka with their first runner on, with Lane Wilkerson at the plate.
Right fielder number 15, Lane Wilkerson.
First pitch that Wilkerson sees, and therefore called strike 1. The 0-1 fouled off. Count now 0-2. So starting exactly like the last at bat. That one was a called strike one, then a foul ball, and ended with Fermin at first base via a single. And that one catches the outside part of the plate for strike three, and Wilkerson can't believe it, and I can't say I completely blame him. That was a little off the plate, but one of those probably where, you know, if it's close, swing, and he did not. But that is the first out of the ball game, and Damian Angel is the new batter. First pitch to him, and therefore called strike one. The 0-1 hit deep into left field. No, it is not. Ryan Cox is under it. He makes the grab. There's two away. I'm going to be honest, at first I thought it was out, but it was also... shame on me because that ball was hit probably up to the top of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, where the Olympics are being played tomorrow. Darren Pretorius, the first pitch that he sees, hit into right field. Peguero going to third, and he will not get there. Oh, yes he will, but he's caught in a rundown between home and third. Eventually, it's now Logan Groh in the mix. He makes the tag, and that's the end of the game. So it is a double. Single or double? So it's a single by...
Back in action for Game 3 in the final game of the semifinal series at Homer Sports Park in Topeka tomorrow night at 7
So, going through it, sorry, I have to finish scoring it.
Ride home and go Blues.
But that'll do it here from the Baldwin City Ballpark. The Baldwin City Blues take this game 11-8, and we're going to a Game 3 tomorrow. That game will be played in Topeka at Homer Sports Park at 7 p.m. I will not be on the call for that. There will be a video stream. We tried to make the audio-only stream work last night. We just couldn't do it. So not even going to try tomorrow. It was more due to a lack of available outlets than anything else. But that'll do it for me. Baldwin City fans, if this is the last time you see me, then thank you. Thank you for another fun season. And Topeka, if this is the last time that I see your fans, thank you. Thank you all for listening. And either way, if your team wins tomorrow, you have me for 2 more games. I will be calling the championship series. Let's check in on Junction City one more time as we... Sorry about that. Had to fix some stuff. Okay, let's figure this out real quick. So Junction City currently leads 15-6 into the top. They're in the top of the 9th inning. Junction City trying to add a couple more runs. And either way, I'll be calling the games on Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday, wherever they may be, except if it's in Topeka, because there is a video stream. So there will be a video stream tomorrow, just not on the YouTube channel. And these two teams playing in Game 3 for a chance to make a Calvin Cup Finals championship series for both teams. It will be their first time, whoever makes it. But we'll see who that is. Once again, thank you all for listening. Thanks for a great season. If this is the last time, go tune in to the video stream tomorrow, and have a good night.